I said it like that.
You said it like you're throwing
I'm
up.
waiting on some graphics. I was just waiting on some graphics, and now we're ready to go.
Here's the beautiful list. When you look at it, it's just clarity. It's just like, thank you.
Thank you that
This is
somebody
the top
did
15
this.
movies that exist so far in this universe. Today we're ranking Soul. So Pixar, in its early days, had hit after hit after hit. It could do no wrong. It made Cars. It was like, yeah, okay, but it still can do no wrong. It made Cars 2. You're like, okay, they can kind of do wrong. And
Cars
then,
3.
and then around 2015, Good Dinosaur, Finding Dory. Yeah, Cars 3. We already mentioned it. It kind of like a Pixar movie is really, really good, but it's lost a little bit of the magic. Soul came out during COVID. It was the first COVID movie. So it went right to streaming, actually, and didn't go into theaters, interestingly. Here's what I'd say about Soul. Before we see the ranking, so don't show the ranking yet. Mm-hmm. It's an interesting mess that is saved, rescued, reconfigured by a single scene. Ooh. And Pixar has Pixar moments, right? You're watching a Pixar movie and they bring the music back, the theme music, and it's just like their point is to just grab your heartstrings and just pluck them and destroy them and move you to tears. And Soul has, and we'll get into it, but Soul has a moment, a Pixar moment that I think is the second best Pixar moment of all their films. I think if you suspend your disbelief a little bit, there's a little bit of wackiness. There's a little bit of theology. It's like, yeah, but it's a cartoon and I'm watching it. If you suspend your disbelief and ask, what is the film telling me? You might realize that this film is amazing. So here's the ranking. Where does Soul match up on this list? Number 5.
Ooh,
Top 5 in the
5.
list. You'll notice it did not quite overtake Up. So it's right above Moneyball, and Moneyball is just a perfect film for what it is. Infinitely rewatchable. It is a perfect hangout movie, funny, incredibly well written by Aaron Sorkin, but it's not saying that much. Like as a film, it's not, the meaning of it is not profound or transformative. However, Soul is. It doesn't go as high as Up because Up, in my opinion, has the best Pixar moment in any Pixar film, which is when Carl is looking at that book at the end. I guess I won't spoil it, but you know the scene. He's looking at the book of photos and it's the adventure book, and fill in the gaps. Maybe you'll see in the comment section why that scene is so magical. Anyways, going back to Soul, here's the thing I want to say about it. If the most important thing in life is to die well, I think Soul might be one of the most important films ever made. Because the scene I'm talking about, basically, and I don't want to give anything away because it's, you got to see it just with fresh eyes. But basically the whole beginning of the film, so there's some cool stuff with like something called The Great Before, which is like before souls come to Earth. It's like, yeah, suspend your disbelief. That's wacky. There's some body switching comedy that's like whatever. And it feels like it's in the Pixar ho-hum, like entertaining but not magical space. But then this moment happens and it makes you see every previous moment as meaningful. And then it transformed me. Like I went back to my family and my life because of this movie, wanting to savor every moment of my life. And like everything from like the commute to work to watching how the leaves fall to looking at my little kid's toes as they wiggle. Like, it's like, wow, this film is about living life and every moment being meaningful. Like, and also just about the theme about dreams. And it's like, I have a dream and it's this big thing. It's like, well, what if you got that dream and it wasn't everything you thought it was cracked up to be?
That's what hit me.
And then you look at your family, it's like, wow, you know what? maybe I already had it.
Yeah.
Like that's why this film to me soars so high.
So
Tony, what do you think?
let me jump in here real quick. So tell me, because you recommended this movie to me, we watched it together.
Yep.
And you remember my reaction? I was hit pretty heavy
I remember.
because as a father, you look at this and say, man, what am I wasting my time on? I'm complaining about this. I'm spending all this time doing that. And I need to be just laughing with the kids when it's time to laugh instead of saying, well, and you know me, clean everything up. I want everything neat and ordered and get the spray out and clean this, right? It's always something. It's never clean enough. It's never orderly enough. And that movie helped me realize, you know what? There's a little bit of beauty in that mess. There's a little bit of beauty in watching the kids make that mess because they're kids. So
the music, like Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross coming in and just having a very simple piano, like musical number that's just like, it makes you feel the feeling of like, that forces you to reflect, right? It's so reflective and you think about your own life. It's simple, right?
I enjoyed listening to that soundtrack.
The montage is incredible.
Just listening to that. And that growing up in the 90s in high school and college, and I'm like, oh, wow, Trent Reznor did this? 9 Inch Nails. But I was like, this guy's talented.
Yeah.
And he nailed it. So my take on this is amazing movie. Top 5, 100%.
Yes.
100%. I love it. I want to watch it again. I actually watched it with the family. Thankfully, I mean, I don't really care if I cry in front of my family. They've seen me cry. But I'm glad that you tipped me off on this.
Great.
Sam, what do you think?
Sam, give it to me. I don't
No,
care.
no,
I don't even care,
straight.
Sam. Give it to me.
I was disappointed by Soul. I'm a huge Pixar fan. And Pete Docter is one of the best. He did Monsters Inc. He did Up. He did Inside Out. And man, I think the most damning thing about this film for me is just how unmemorable it was afterwards. And just I remember sitting with my family. We're all just like, what did we just watch? I agree like about all those themes, and I see how all those themes resonate. But I just think they're so like, I think a lot of those life affirming themes are in a lot of Pixar's earlier films, which I think are much more polished. I think this is a film. I love watching the behind the scenes of Pixar movies because you see all these guys around the table and they're pitching different story ideas. And a lot of things change even at the last minute in animation. You'd be surprised. Just like huge story changes, but most times they were for the better. And they had someone at the helm, John Lasseter, who was very good at that. And this was one of the first Pixar movies that does not have very much of his involvement after he was ousted from Pixar. And this feels like a movie with a bunch of different ideas, but it does not feel cohesive in the slightest.
I got to jump in and say this, Sam. I think you have to be a certain age and have a certain amount of experiences to really get this movie.
But I get Groundhog Day, and that's that's a very similar movie with a very hard-hitting theme about how to live life. Incredibles is the same theme, and I'm not a father yet.
I think until you go through, I identified 100% with that main character. Yeah. And especially when the scene, and I remember explaining it to Allison, my wife, who's smarter than me and better than me, and she reminds me of that sometime. She doesn't. She's
Allison, use code CRUSADE. Go to vidangel.com. Allison, use code CRUSADE.
That's right.
Thanks, Allison.
And sign up at moviecrusade.com, please, sweetheart. The scene where he plays the gig.
Yeah.
That he wants to play, and he walks out of the bar. Yeah. And then the lead saxophone gal, she's like, what is it, Teach? And he's like, I just expected it to be something. And because she's like, yeah, just come back and do it again tomorrow night. And he's just like, okay. And to me, that was for me at my age and everything that I've been through, I'm always going like, I want to go and accomplish this thing. And most of the time if I get to the point where I do accomplish it, I've always had that feeling of, oh, okay, I really thought it would feel different every single time. I remember, building a business, getting it to a certain financial level. And I remember an employee called me up and said, congratulations. What are you doing now that we hit this level? And I said, I guess I'm just going to try to hit another level. And when I saw this movie, that part hit me hard, and I want to watch it again. I want to watch it again, and I want it to soak in more. So that's my take is I feel like you have to have gone through some life experiences to get it, because if you haven't, in Cameron, you've done the same thing. You've poured your heart and soul into 3 documentaries, and you've poured your heart and soul into Mass of the Ages, and we're working on some other amazing things. And when you pour your heart and soul in something, and I'm not saying you haven't done that, Sam. I'm just saying you're younger, right? I mean, You're at a different level. I'm twice your age.
Yeah.
So that's my whole point is you have to, I think that's what's the beauty of movies. The beauty of movies is like, yeah, you're not going to get every single movie that somebody else that has different experiences will get.
But I don't think you can rank a movie based on your personal experience.
Oh, you absolutely can. You absolutely can.
But this is an objective thing we're looking at with art.
No. You can.
There are movies that are written better. There are movies that are animated better.
My opinion, Souls 4 and 5 and up.
It's a great subjective ranking. Yeah.
Because we all go through these experiences of we put so much emphasis on something.
Sure.
And it ends up that we're disappointed. And to me, it reminds me of really it's union with God is the thing that we have to be striving for. All these other worldly things.
Everything else
is
which
nothing.
happens through death, which he kind of chickened out at the end when he didn't accept his death. I thought it would have been a very powerful film if he actually accepted his death in the end.
Well,
that's a great observation.
Yeah.
No, that's a great observation. Yeah.
I think it's more satisfying for him to go back because then it shows hope that things can be different.
I can do it differently.
Yeah, and it makes me want to do it differently.
Right.
Like, okay, next time I commute, next time I play with my daughter, next time X, Y, or Z.
I thought, Sam, that's what was going to happen.
Sure.
So I thought I was like, oh yeah, no, he's toast. And so your point is valid. I think that would have been quite profound.
Sure.
I think it was still profound the way that they did it. And I
agree with your point about it being certain things about it being unmemorable because it is, like I said, it's a mess, but kind of like life is a mess. Like I don't remember what I had for breakfast yesterday because I don't eat breakfast.
I can tell you didn't have anything
2 nights ago. Like and life is just like, okay. And this movie feels like that. The first half or first 2/3, it's like, nothing really, like it's entertaining. But then this moment happens, it's like, oh, wait a second.
Yeah.
The little things, the mess, the wonky things, like it was all meaningful. And then what's so cool is not only does that montage pull in together scenes from the movie, but then scenes that you haven't seen yet. Like when he's growing up, like his mother's bathing him when he's a child. He's at the water with his mother. Like he's playing piano for his dad, you know? And that's the other thing you were saying about going through stuff. And I've lost my father. And like, so like, here's why it's not just subjective though, because objectivity, there's 2 ways to get at objectivity. You take out all subjective experience, or you add up every single subjective experience. Cause that's almost like God, right? He's the fulfillment of all experiences. And I would say that if you just had all the subjective experiences and piled them on each other, it would give us something of a list that's like, no, these are actually better because, and there's experiences I haven't had that movies, play with that I like, let's say someone's wife dying that has never happened to me. So maybe I would rank that lower because it didn't get it or X, Y, and Z. But I still think it's objective because it's a real thing and it says something true about how to live. Like what a life to the full is not an achievement. It's the here and now. It's living fully present here and now and doing God's will. And Yeah. So I just loved the film.
I
It's
did.
incredible.
I did. And we can take a lot of that. And even though, of course, we're not going to be like, oh, yeah, I totally agree with the kooky guy spinning the sign. And
Sure.
I mean, we don't believe in that nonsense. So we're just like, yeah, I can just empty that out of my head.
That
But
was bizarre.
yeah, it's bizarre.
was-
Absolutely. And
I
it's like,
agree.
okay, yeah, it's still an animated film. But as far as animated films go, this touched me more than any other animated film, more than Up. And it makes me, I wish I could hold on to that, Cameron. I wish I could hold on to that feeling that I have, which was I want to be a better husband and a better father, because that's how I felt after that movie.
That's the power of movies,
That is the
right?
power
That's
of
why
movies, right.
we make movies. That's why we talk about movies. That's why I'm going to rewatch Soul, right? To like
Yes.
reactivate that. It's like, okay,
100%.
remotivate myself,
100%.
reconfigure myself a little bit. And so we got to watch it again, I guess.
I want to watch it again. I totally do. Are you worried about your financial future? Did you know nearly half of Americans who retire at age 65 are projected to run out of money during retirement? And what about long-term care? It's real and costly. Nearly 70% of people will need long-term care, with nursing home costs averaging over $110,000 a year. Don't have a plan? Now you don't need to worry, because there's Advocate Financial. Advocate Financial will help you secure your financial future. They have strategies to double your account value for long-term care protection. Imagine getting an extra $900 a month from Social Security. Imagine a retirement income that's guaranteed to last a lifetime. This isn't wishful thinking. These are real strategies that work for you. Advocate Financial is Catholic, family-owned and operated, and helps you take control of your financial future. Whether you want to lower your tax bill on a big payday or get strategies to give you strong stock market returns with zero risk, go to CatholicFinancialGuide.com. Don't leave your future to chance. Talk with an expert today. That's CatholicFinancialGuide.com. Terms and restrictions apply. CatholicFinancialGuide.com. If you liked that clip, which I'm sure you did, then check out our other clips. And don't forget to go into the comments section and hype this bad boy. Don't make me get Fat Cardinal. Hype it now.